Valley Sports South and Valley Sports Southeast, the heart of the fan.
World champion Atlanta Braves baseball is presented by Truist. After a rainy start to the day, the skies are clearing in Atlanta for Game 2 between the Diamondbacks and the surging Braves. Ronald Acuna Jr. and Dansby Swanson took care of business in Game 1 of the series, and Atlanta tries to win the series outright with a victory tonight. Hi again, everybody. I'm Chip Carey. Jeff Rancour along in just a moment. What a wonderful weekend we have had in Atlanta, celebrating all of the alumni who are back in town. The festivities began with a big parade through the Battery of Atlanta yesterday, as all the Braves from years gone by were in attendance here in Atlanta, Georgia. Ralph Gator Gar was here, Andrew Jones here, Dale Murphy was here, Leo Mazzoni too, and who can forget our pal Jeff Rancour, as we honor the 40th anniversary of the 1982 National League Western Division champions. And today, moments ago, the Braves Hall of Fame added Joe Adcock, Joe Torre, and Leo Mazzoni in a wonderful pregame tribute here in Atlanta. And the first pitch strikes just as you would expect. Hi again, everybody. I'm Chip Carey. Thank you for joining us for Braves baseball. Jeff Rancour is here. About the only thing we can complain about, partner, your home run derby was rained out, and I know you're feeling disappointed about that.
Well, BJ got lucky. I mean, quite frankly, it's the best thing that's happened to him all day. I got to tell you, though, great job emceeing the Hall of Fame event. It was special. Great to see them go in it. No home run derby, but one guy that has been hitting home runs, Austin Riley. Front runner for Player of the Month for July. Really clear-cut winner already when you look at what he's done these 24 games. I laugh to think he was not a first pick to the All-Star game when it happened. Well, he's going to have the last laugh here at the end of July, and if he continues at this pace, Chip, he's got a great chance to be in the running there at the end of the season for MVP.
And hopefully the Braves' bats will be booming, as they often are, for Ian Anderson. An important start for the Braves' young right-hander as Atlanta battles the Diamondbacks in Game 2 of 3 here at Truist Park. Skies are clearing, big crowd on hand. It's been a wonderful weekend. Let's get a series win with a victory tonight. It's the Braves and Diamondbacks next.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. And by the Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day.
This is my favorite weekend of the year, Alumni Weekend, seeing all the Braves heroes in town. How about Robinson Cano catching the first pitch from Joe Torre, Colin McHugh for Leo Mazzoni, Joe Adcock also inducted into the Hall of Fame just moments ago, as we're finally ready for Game 2 of our set with the Arizona Diamondbacks, who enter play at 45 and 54. It's a different looking lineup for them. Earlier today, they traded David Peralta to the Tampa Bay Rays for a young minor league catcher, so Torey Lovullo has a different lineup. Ketel Marte will be the designated hitter. We'll get our first look at Buddy Kennedy, who will play second base. And the Diamondbacks have played well since the All-Star break, Jeff. Take aim at Ian Anderson, who pitches for win number 9 tonight.
Yeah, you see that record there. ERA a little bit up. He had a good start back last year against Arizona. For Ian, it's a big start. He's got to be able to control the strike zone, take it one pitch at a time. And that, Chip, takes me right into my 4 keys and what I'm talking about for Ian Anderson today. He's got to find a way to just one pitch. Don't worry about what's going on. Don't worry about what's happening. Get back to simplifying, get to the basics. And then, of course, before the game starts, Brian Jordan got lucky today. The rain is the only reason he didn't lose today. And that's all I'll say about that.
For now.
For now.
As Josh Rojas leads off. And Ian Anderson's first pitch is up and away. I must admit, I'm pleasantly surprised we were able to start this game on time, if at all.
Unbelievable.
When we tell you it was a torrential rainstorm, as that ball is whacked toward Olsen, and Ian races to the bag for out number 1. It rained
hard.
Very hard for an hour and a half, so much so that if you took an imaginary line 60, 70 feet beyond the cut of the outfield grass, that part of Truist Park was underwater.
Yeah.
Standing water in center field, but obviously with the new fields, the turf drains very well, and now with skies clearing, we start on time, and maybe we'll finish on time tonight. So Alec Thomas is the hitter with 1 out. And Anderson ahead of him.
I was going to say, good job by Ed Magnum and his staff getting the field ready, because like you said, they were standing water the whole outfield almost.
So a comfortable night, no wind to speak of. Anderson working quickly and skips that one up there. It's an even count. Already, Jeff, a couple more curveballs from Ian Anderson than we saw in his last start.
You know, look, when you have a start like he did, you go back to the drawing board and you look at everything, and for him, if he's got a feel for that pitch, it's not a bad idea to go to it.
There's the changeup, and Alec Thomas is behind in the count. Thomas went 0 for 3 last night. The Diamondbacks in this game, 7 hitters who can bat left-handed against the Braves' right-handed pitcher. What's odd about that? It's the right-hand batters who've done most of the damage against Ian Anderson. We'll see how it plays out. As a fastball misses, even count. High hopper right to second. That'll be a piece of cake. 2 outs, 2 ground ball outs to start, Jeff.
Very nice. Only 7 pitches, 2 outs.
So Ketel Marte is the batter, a switch hitter with 10 homers, a .266 average. He too was without a hit last night. And your point about Ian is well taken. Look, this is a talented kid. We know how good he has been in the playoffs, but he's too good to have a 6.27 ERA over a 10-game stretch. And quite frankly, those are the facts for him right now.
Yeah, the one thing you do appreciate is there's no excuses by him. He knows he's got to get better. Good thing for him, he's got good starts in the postseason, everything else to draw that success and know where you've been. But for him, he's got to get back to that.
Well, I like how quickly he's working. He's thrown all 3 of his pitches, and he's got Marte quickly behind. No balls, 2 strikes. Marte right on top of the plate. I mean, he's as close as you can get. And off the knuckles, still 0-2. Jeff, it's not too often you see a batter in a major league game with the tip of his shoes on the outer edge of the batter's box.
It reminds me of Chase Utley, all up in that box.
I'm assuming he's trying to take away that changeup or make it a little more inviting.
Yeah, you know, some guys feel comfortable not worried about getting beat by the fastball, feel they can pull the hands in or at least foul it off. So probably a good reason. He knows his out pitch is that curveball going away, so he's going to try to take that away.
Tipped and caught. How about that inning for Ian Anderson? 12 pitches, 9 strikes, and 3 very quick outs. Impressive start for Ian Anderson. Now the Braves go to work looking for win number 61. No score. Time for the Braves bats to go to work. Atlanta scored 5 runs last night. And Ronald Acuna Jr., Jeff, looks like he's starting to turn the corner a bit. His at-bats last night were very good, so he's atop the Toyota starting lineup again. You mentioned red-hot Austin Riley, 24 extra base hits in his last 24 games. William Contreras is behind the plate for Brian Snitker, whose Braves will face Corbin Martin, a young man coming back from Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, getting his second start as a Diamondback. Came in the trade over from the Astros for Zach Greinke. And these are the type of guys you're going to see a few of these guys get these opportunities. You saw that start versus Washington, and you look at what that line was, 5 walks. So for this offense, I think they can be patient, force him to come to them, and really, if you put a couple on early, you can make it an uncomfortable night for the young pitcher.
Yeah, 9 walks in 8 innings covering his last 2 starts, or last 2 outings, I should say. But still a .393 earned run average as he will stare down Ronald Acuna Jr. leading things off. Ronald 8 homers, 23 driven in. Had a hit, scored a run, and stole his 100th base last night as a big leaguer. And Jeff, we talked about that subtle change that Kevin Seitzer was working on. Both he and Ronald talking to Seitz beforehand. Very encouraged by what they saw last night.
Yeah, they were. You know, he kind of was turning that shoulder a little bit, getting long. We were used to seeing Ronald. You see where his hands are going straight to the baseball. And sometimes, you know, when you're not comfortable, you try to get a little extra and you wrap the bat, or you kind of turn a little bit like he was doing. But I thought his at-bats were much better last night. Saw the ball.
So trending in the right direction is Acuna with 2 strikes. And that missed inside. That's what's so exciting about the Braves offense. Look, second to the Yankees in home runs this year among major league teams. And Ronald has just 8 to this point.
Yeah.
We can get him going. Look out. 1-2. Missed badly inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And you can see he's going to sit 93, 94. Doesn't throw that much harder than that. And he's got a changeup and a curveball.
Talking about that mechanical adjustment. I mean, Ronald took maybe 200 swings, it seemed, before the game yesterday. How long does that generally take to take effect?
Well, it all depends. Like you said, sometimes, usually it's a couple days, because, you know, look, doing it in BP is one thing. Doing it against live pitching is another.
Full count.
But you can see by seeing all the pitches he saw yesterday, he's started 0-2. He's worked it back to 3-2.
So as you said, be patient. Acuna has been. Now the payoff pitch. Over the netting, out of play, foul.
It's funny, even superstars like Ronald, sometimes you got to crawl before you can walk. They don't have to do it much, but sometimes they got to go back to the basics and kind of work like you did in the minor leagues when you were younger.
Little chopper, tough play. Acuna flying down the line. Bare hand throw, way late. Infield hit for Acuna. A 9-pitch at bat, and the leadoff man on for the Braves here in the first.
Like Ralph Garr told us last night, speed kills. When you hit one like this, you're not going to throw out Ronald. And even that, you know, look, it's a chop ball, but you had a deep count and you have a hit. You have something positive to go off of. Beat that one out easy.
So it was an 8-pitch at bat, not 9, I beg your pardon, but still a lengthy one for Ronald, who is behind 0-2. And let's see if he can steal base number 101 as a big leaguer in front of Dansby Swanson, who had a couple of hits here last night. You and I were talking about Ronald and Ralph Garr before the game. You love it when Gator Garr says that. Speed never slumps.
It doesn't. It does. I mean, look at the guys. Trey Turner, those type guys, they rarely get in a prolonged slump.
Dansby took a shot. Strike 1 to him. So the speed of a batter runner at the point of contact creates pressure. Now the pressure for a young man on the mound has Ronald Acuna, Dansby Swanson, Olsen, and Riley lurking. Here in the bottom of the first inning. Good lead by Acuna. Doesn't go, and Swanson swats that off the screen. And now he's behind 0-2.
Yeah, that seems to be the pitch we've seen him get a few swing and misses already. That little slider off the outside part of the plate. That's one Ronald chopped into the ground. Usually when you do that, you'll see him this time start it a little bit farther off the plate to see if he'll chase.
Hit high in the air to right field. Varsho back to the middle of the warning track, and Dansby gave it a ride, but not deep enough. Well struck ball, but that's out number 1. Dansby just missed a 2-run homer. Now Matt Olson's coming up.
Impressive stat that old Hal Galima gave us up here. At home this year, Matt Olson, 10 home runs, 33 RBIs. On the road, 10 home runs, 33 RBIs. It's pretty good.
Pretty consistent,
Yeah,
what do you say?
think? Just a little.
Matt has 8 homers in his last 17 games, 24 RBIs this month. That's a great month. But he's been overshadowed by Austin Riley's work. Ronald's running. The throw to second is in time. Great throw by Herrera. And Acuna wants the Braves to check this. He thought he got in the back door at second base, but he's rung up. Paul Emmel says Acuna tagged out and the Braves won't challenge.
You know, he didn't get a bad jump here. This was the perfect throw. Look where it's right on the money. It's bang bang. Did a good job of kind of blocking the base, force him outside. You know, it's a perfect pitch too for the catcher to throw down there, Chip, off the plate a little bit.
Yep, the hand off the leg.
Yep.
And then that allowed the tag. Well, there's one way that a base runner can solve that problem. You go in spikes first.
Yeah, well, that's true too. We don't see that too much anymore.
Nope. But a great throw. And now 2 outs for Olson, who looks for his first hit of the series. And that's a little low. Ball 2. Corbin Martin, 2 outs in the Braves' first inning. Big shift on the pitch. It's 2-2. First time you see a starting pitcher, he's got the big advantage.
Exactly. Not used to his stuff. How many times do we see this Braves lineup face someone like that? You get 2-3 innings of no runs, and then second time they'll pop you for 2 or 3.
So Olson faces a 3-2 count. Fly ball center. Well hit. Thomas on the run. Still going. Track wall gone.
Looks like Matt just wanted to add 11 home runs now and 34 RBIs at home. Dead center, 3-2 pitch. Stayed through it beautifully.
And we've been saying it, and we'll keep saying it. With 2 strikes, 2 outs, that is when the Braves have been at their best.
Yeah.
And Matt Olson, with some 2-strike, 2-out thunder, gives the Braves a 1-0 lead.
61 2-strike home runs for the Braves this year.
Riley almost takes the glove of Martinoff on the way by. A missile up the middle.
116 off the bat. Well, we talked about him on the open. He's probably going to be that player of the month.
Whoa. Charlie browned him. That is fortunate it missed. And there is nobody in the game more locked in than Austin Riley right now.
No, that was a spinning slider.
So 4 hits in the series for Riley. That hit should put him over the 300 mark with his 29 homers. And now Marcell Ozuna is the batter. And upstairs, ball 1. 3 hits in the inning, 2 singles, and the Olson solo home run, his 9th home run in July.
That was ball off Austin Riley's bat, the hardest ball he's hit this year. And I agree. Martin is lucky. And I know everybody's feeling lucky, included Austin, that did not. I mean, that's 2 inches to the left. That gets him.
Riley leads at first. 2-0 pitch. Braves 1, Arizona nothing. Long first inning for Atlanta. Martin about to make his 23rd pitch. Nothing wrong with his fastball.
No, he's
95.
come at 3 out of 4 to Ozuna, and you wonder a little bit if he's been spinning, you know, that slider, curveball, so he's going to come a little more fastball, because those off-speed pitches have gotten hit hard. Even Dansby's ball went all the way to the wall.
In the dirt, a swing and a miss, and that retires Ozuna and the Braves. But Matt Olson, with 2 strikes and 2 outs, goes dead central. After 1, good start in game 2. The Braves lead by 1. Terry Pendleton's a Braves Hall of Famer and was also the MVP of that magical 1991 season. Gold Glover, 44 career postseason games, and all he did was hit .297 in the World Series. It is truly our honor to have one of the greatest guys in the history of the Braves franchise with us, the great one and only Terry Pendleton.
Well, thanks for having me, guys.
How are you, pal?
I'm good.
Chip, don't forget hitting coach, man. We made him work.
You did. You made it work.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, one of you definitely did, and it wasn't you.
Yeah, exactly. All those sliders, right? TP, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm bouncing around, enjoying working with our minor league system, and enjoying life, enjoying being a grandpa, the whole deal.
Nice. As Christian Walker hits and takes outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Alumni weekend's one of the best weekends of the year. What's it like seeing all your former teammates and current teammates, if you will, on the coaching staff here?
It's fun. It's fun. You know, we don't get together but once a year if we can, and you know, we'll text some guys here and there, but for the most part it's great to get out and see each other and check on the families and hear the new things that are going on in life with them. So, and you know, tell the stories that get bigger and bigger each year. Yeah, no doubt about it.
It's great because Kelly and Bertie were talking to Francisco Cabrera last night, but me and Chip watched the whole 9th inning, and I remember it. Inning was started by a double by TP in Game 7 in '92 off Doug Dbacks.
Yeah, that was correct. I went in the dugout and I said, "Hey guys, we got 3 outs left to do this.
Let's do something."
But I felt like we were going to win it. I don't know what happened. The whole entire game, I felt like we were going to win that ball game. And then when Jose Lean made the error at second base on Dave Justice, I said, "This is over. We got this." Yeah.
And as magical as '92 was, for many Braves fans, '91 was such a special year because the Braves kind of came out of nowhere, right? Whole new infield. You, Sid Bream, Rafael Belliard came here, and I guess sort of, if I can put words in your mouth, change the attitude around this Braves team.
Well, there was an attitude shift. There's no doubt about that. We started playing like the old Braves in spring training, and Sid and I had a meeting with the ball club. We asked Bobby Cox if we could take over the clubhouse one morning, and everybody out, trainers, everybody. And we had a powwow with the guys about how we were going about doing things every day, and when the game started, how we were going about playing the games. And we basically told them, listen, we're not going to be the Braves of old. We're the new Braves here. And I started talking to Avery and Ronnie Gann and Mark Lemke. We started talking about how they won in AAA. So don't tell nobody you can't win. You're not winners. You're winners. We just need to go out and prove it.
You came from St. Louis, which had a great history and tradition of winning. How hard was that, being a, quote, new guy on a new team, to do that?
Well, it wasn't hard because I think we had mutual respect for each other in that clubhouse. You know, I walked in, John and Bobby asked me to lead. I had never done that before, coming from a bunch of veterans in St. Louis, but I didn't know that I was taught a lot in St. Louis as far as leadership is concerned. So I came in, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. Sid and I talked to the group about it, and they bought in. The guys bought in, and that's what made us so good. Everybody bought in at what we needed to do in order to be successful.
And you guys didn't panic in the middle of the season when things weren't going particularly well, did you?
I will say no, but I will say this, and Greg Olson probably will never forget this. We were in L.A. and we'd gone in there 5.5 back, and you know, we figured, okay, we can pick up some ground here. Well, we ended up losing 4 straight in L.A. But I remember Saturday night, I believe, we had extra inning game and we were tied, and Leo had just come out to the mound and talked to us about how we're going to pitch Darryl Strawberry, and we're definitely going to bury the ball inside. And I don't know if it was the first or second pitch, Alejandro threw it, and he hit it a country mile. And we walked off the field, and I basically wore Greg Olson out on that bench as he's taking off his gear about not getting the ball inside, blah, 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 what were we supposed to do? And he let me finish talking, and I sit there, and he looks up at me and goes, TP, he said, we were trying to go in, we just missed, and I felt about a quarter-inch big. Man,
at least he let you finish.
Yeah, he did. He gave me the common courtesy to let me finish instead of telling me, shut up, dummy.
Bobby Cox. All of us miss Bobby. Hope he's doing well. And you watched Bobby Cox from afar as a non-Atlanta Brave. What was it like playing for Bobby Cox?
It was relaxing. It was, you knew your manager had your back. And some people don't understand this, but to know your manager has your back, whether you're right or wrong, even if you're wrong, he's going to go out there and be fired up for you and help you and try to persuade the umpire that you were wrong. But later on, he'll tell you, hey, you know, we probably didn't get that one right. But Bobby knew the flow of the game. He knew when to manage. He knew when to pull back. He knew when to allow people just to go, even if they weren't going well. He had the confidence. I tell people Bobby had more patience than a grandmother. I mean, it's unbelievable. Because when everybody's panicking, Bobby's going, hey, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. And 9 times out of 10, we were fine.
Do you see that same kind of personality in Brian Snitker with this team?
Oh, he has some of that. When the camera pans over to the bench, you can see he's sitting there cool and calm. Now, he may be nervous as I don't know what inside, but you won't see it out of him. And that's what makes him so good.
Jerry, kind of the way I feel when I broadcast with Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep you going, you know. I will say, TP, you were out on that stage tonight. I was happy for Leo Mazzoni tonight. I think that was well-deserved for him. And I think it's the greatest speech I've ever heard Leo say. Were you impressed?
Yeah, I was. But, Leo was nervous as I don't know what up there. He could barely breathe up there. But it was awesome. Well-deserved. Leo worked his rear end off to help all our pitchers here in Atlanta. And it showed on the mound. It showed those guys did their homework. They were ready to go when game time came. And Leo knew what he wanted to do and how he wanted the pitchers to execute things. And they went out and did it, and that's what made it so good.
How are the minor leagues down there? How are some of they coming along?
They are. I have to say this first. I have to say our minor league system, our managers, coaches, our field coordinators, our rovers, they do an awesome job with these kids. You got Michael Harris up here. You got Austin Riley down there. You got guys that they had. Acuna, these guys have worked their rear end off daily to get these guys to this level. And going down there, working with them, watching what they do and how they do it on a daily basis, they don't get enough credit for what they do. Snit knows. He was down there a long time. He understands it. But those guys don't get enough credit for what they do every single day. And I, for one, get a chance to go down there and work with them and appreciate what they put in. But our kids down there are working hard. We just drafted some kids. I was down there this past week with them, and the kids are working hard. They're trying to understand what pro ball is like out of high school, out of college. Yes, it is. And so watching them every day, even the 4 days I was down there with them, just watching them grow and learn a little bit each day was a big plus.
2-2 pitch is cut on and missed. Ian Anderson has set down 6 straight to start the game. TP, we love you. It's so great to see you, man. Thanks for all the wonderful memories.
Thanks, my man.
Stop by and visit us again, all right?
I'll do so.
The great Terry Pendleton, Braves Hall of Famer, MVP in '91, an unforgettable season in Braves history.
Look at that speed.
The second inning, Braves lead 1-0 on a Matt Olson home run. Eddie Rosario will lead off for the Braves, and on August 2nd, it's Eddie Rosario NLCS MVP bobblehead night. That's presented by Delta. The Phillies will be here, and that gift, the giveaway to the first 15,000 fans. Go to Braves.com/promos. I don't know about you. I could talk baseball with Terry Pendleton for hours.
I tell you, it was so. I tell you what was so nice. Yes, it was awesome having Bobby Cox be your manager when you came up, but having Terry Pendleton, be your hitting coach, it was really. You talk about calming. It was great because he would get us in there each day, work with us, and we had a lot of young guys. So you know, there was a lot of guys trying to get in that cage, and he did a good job of a balance of not letting us do too much.
Was there a sense of idol worship for you? I mean, you grew up in Atlanta,
Yeah,
Braves
for
fan,
sure.
Terry Pendleton.
You know what? There was,
that
but
team.
the great thing about it, TP is so down to earth that, you know, by the first few days, it was great having a chance to work with him in spring training. When you got up here, you felt comfortable already, which was so nice.
That's a strike for Rosario. One of the many things I love about Terry is if you don't want an honest answer, don't ask the question.
For sure. I mean, let me tell you, as comforting as he was, like we talked about, he'd jump you now in 2 seconds.
3 balls and a strike for Rosario. And that's ball 4. So the first walk of the game from Corbin Martin. And William Contreras will be the hitter. Well, you know, you think about that 91 team. The Braves had been a second division club in the West for so many years. Yeah. You brought in Pendleton, you brought in Breen, you brought in Rafael Belliard, and all of a sudden, with John Smoltz and Tom Glavine and Charlie Liebrandt and so many others on that staff, balls that were hits or errors all of a sudden became outs, and that's when the worm really turned here for
you know
Braves.
what else you do? You change the mindset of a team. Guys like TP that come in that, you know, they're going to be great teammates, but they're not going to, you know, take if you're not giving everything you got, if you're not concentrate when you're out there. And I think that's what you've seen, you know, really the last 4 or 5 years here in Atlanta too now, is the mindset shifted, the mindset changed. We're not going to accept mediocrity.
Well, Pendleton in 91 certainly was not mediocre.
No.
He was the MVP. Hit .319, 187 hits, 22 home runs, but wasn't an all-star that year. How about that?
Sounds like another guy I know on our team right now.
Who plays the same position.
Yes.
Right? Although Riley was later added to the.
But I know he was, but I know him and I know Austin Riley's mindset. You take it personal, you weren't that first time around, because he deserved it.
And I don't think if Riley continues this torrid pace, he's going to ever have to worry about not being a first ballot all-star in the National League for the next several years.
You know what, though? You go ask TP, and I'm sure Austin Riley would tell you the same thing. I'll take an MVP over an all-star any day of the week.
Well, he's got a shot.
Yep.
The way he's rolling this month, he's certainly going to be the front runner, I would think, for player of the month.
You know, and the great thing, too, about guys like Terry Pendleton, to me, it makes you feel great being a Brave, knowing that he's down there in spring training working with these young players, teaching them, because what you know is that they're learning to play the game the right way.
Contreras fouls that away. To Terry's point about all the young players, the Braves have signed all 22 of their draft choices.
Yeah, well, you know, you only get 20 rounds now, so you got to make them count. You know, to me, it's important. You want to get those guys in the system and get them going, because the quicker you can do that, the more Michael Harris type guys you have coming up the pipeline.
It's interesting. You were making the point with Terry, the adjustment that a young player has to make from going from high school
Absolutely.
or college ball to pro ball. What is that adjustment like from a hitter standpoint?
Well, I'll tell you what, you're obviously seeing high velocity when you get in the minor leagues compared to what you saw in high school every day. And then, of course, just, you know, learning how to become a pro. Take care of yourself. You know, you're 18 years old, your mom's doing your laundry. All of a sudden, you got to do your own laundry.
2-2 pitch, runner goes, swing, fly ball center. Thomas on the run, still going back as far as he can go. That's in the bullpen. Walk and a homer. The Braves lead by 3 here in the second.
.427 feet opposite field. Another young guy we talk about in the pipeline for the Braves, spent a lot of last year too in the minor leagues, and the adjustments he's made. He gets a spinner and you do exactly what you're supposed to do.
Another homer with 2 strikes, first for Contreras since July the 8th.
Yeah, ball was up, stayed tall, hit through it. Knew that one right off the bat.
So 2 homers for the Braves in the first 2 innings. 2 in, nobody out here in the second, and Arcia wails away and fouls it away for a strike. So for Contreras, 12 home runs. Travis d'Arnaud for the Braves has hit 11. 23 from your catching core, 100 some odd games in the season.
It's a pretty good combo.
You'll take that.
Again, I know we've said it before, but you love too that they're both being able to keep each other healthy, give each other nights off. You know, this Georgia heat, it's not easy to catch day in and day out down here in Atlanta.
No doubt. 2 strikes for the Braves second baseman. He went. And Arcia is rung up on a check swing. That's the second strikeout for Martin. And Michael Harris is coming up. Well, if Riley is a leading candidate for the MVP, I think it's safe to say that Michael is one of the top candidates for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, if he keeps going the way he's doing it. You know, we keep looking at his offensive stats, but again, I'll say from a defensive standpoint, you know, the catches we've seen him make, with him being able to move to center field, you were able to move Acuna to right field where you kind of want him. And really short up this outfield defense.
And this illustrates Terry Pendleton's point. The lifeblood of any successful organization is homegrown players.
Absolutely.
Braves certainly did that in the 90s. They're doing it now. Our next guest is going to be Braves Hall of Famer Joe Torre, who managed the Braves here. Certainly had a great career managing the Yankees. But the core of that team was also homegrown. Posada, Jeter, Mariano, and the like. That's how you do it. As Harris takes a strike, 1 ball, 2 strikes your count.
Yeah, I'm still not happy with Joe, though, from '96 when the Braves were up 2-0. You know, I was just a 12-year-old kid at home watching. It's tough.
Well, you'll have your chance to air your grievance. We'll say it's Festivus in July. And Joe will join us in just a bit.
Yeah.
That's a ball low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Michael has been beating the pressure all year. That feature brought to you by our friends at Coors Light.
He's hit safely in 8 of the last 9. He's hitting .455 with runners in scoring position his last 9 games.
Back-to-back strikeouts, 2 away and back to the top for Ronald, who led off with an infield hit. I don't envy any pitcher coming back from what this kid's coming back, facing this Atlanta team in this ballpark. That's a tough assignment.
No, we've talked about it. The Braves are only second in baseball behind the Yankees with home runs. And you kind of look at where they've come alive. We've seen them score runs different ways, but already tonight, 2 quick home runs, and it's 3-0 in the second inning.
And remember, the Diamondbacks offensively a little shorthanded. They traded David Peralta to Tampa Bay before today's play.
Yeah, I would imagine things are going to start picking up here in the next 24 hours or so. Got to what, Tuesday night at 6 o'clock?
Tuesday at 6. One of the big names went off the board late last night. Luis Castillo to the Mariners for 4 high prospects. So the Reds continue their, shall we say, dismantling. As Acuna bats with 2 outs. Got him right where we want him. 2 outs. Now get the 2 strikes, Ronald, and then go to work. Chop to the left side. Charging at third. Bobbled and dropped. Wet infield. Rojas couldn't handle it, and Acuna's speed may have influenced that play at the hot corner. Ronald's aboard with 2 outs.
Again, another example. He knows the speed of Ronald, and he knows he's got to get rid of it quick. He said wet ball, even with a good play, it would have been bang bang.
But that's the point. It puts such pressure
on defense,
on every facet of your defense. And that is ruled an E5. It's the right call. Dansby hits. He flied out his first time. 3-0 Braves. A Contreras homer, an Olsen homer. Can't wait to visit with Joe Torre. I hope we have a nice long inning. I've been dying to ask him if he has any clean stories about my dad that he would like to share from those early 1980s teams here with the Braves.
My guess would be no.
No, probably not. Probably not. Swing and a miss. No balls and a strike. You're too young to remember. Do you know who Joe Torre's pitching coach was for the Braves in the early 80s? The great Bob Gibson. How'd you like to argue with Bob Gibson about a pitch selection after something goes awry?
Yeah, right.
Man, was that a fun year. Dale Murphy, Bob Horner, Chris Chambliss, Murderers Row.
Absolutely.
Later Bob Watson joined the club. And those awesome hate-filled matchups with the Dodgers in the National League West.
They've kind of rekindled that with the Dodgers the last 3-4 years now.
1 ball, 1 strike. Fans might remember a name from the Atlanta Hawks, Mike Fratello, the former head coach. Mike used to serve as the bat boy when Tommy Lasorda and the Dodgers came to town for the LA team. Those were the days. You're 16, 17 years old and you're a crazy baseball fan and you got to watch that guy play every day in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Hard to believe that was 40 seasons ago. The '82 Western champs. The pitch. And fouled away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dansby Swanson, 83 hits since May 23rd. More hits than any player in Major League Baseball in that stretch.
We continue to talk about his approach, staying up the middle, driving the ball to right center gap, and then of course he's got such quick hands, he's able to pull those hands in at any time on a fastball in.
And the Braves are doing what they are so good at doing. They forced Martin to make 51 pitches and he's not out of the 2nd inning yet.
You talk about his last start, had 5 walks. So when you see that and it's a young pitcher facing this type of lineup,
there is no mercy in a major league game, as he's paying close attention to Acuna. Braves try to keep pace with the New York Mets. Braves are 3 back in the division race. The Mets lead Miami in the 7th inning in South Florida. 2-0 is that score. Here it's 3-0 Braves. The pitch. Full count. Ronald will be running with 2 outs.
Thing for him right now, everything's been away. That fastball now has been away, the slider away. So as a hitter, you can start diving, looking out over that plate.
Runner goes 3-2. Hit high in the air to right again. Varsho drifts back and to the edge of the warning track. That's out number 3. A walk and a 2-run homer by William Contreras. He's hit him like Joe Torre used to do here in Atlanta. And speaking of Joe Torre, he'll join us next as we head to inning number 3. Torre to Atlanta for Alumni Weekend. A Milwaukee Brave, an Atlanta Brave, one of the all-time great hitters in the history of this franchise. You know about Joe's career as the manager of the Yankees and of course the Atlanta Braves. 3 magical seasons, 82, 83, and 84, when the Braves were in the National League West. What a season. 5-time All-Star, Gold Glover, Rookie of the Year, and he's with us here in our booth at Truist Park. Mr. Torre, what an honor to welcome you back to Atlanta.
Chip, before you ask me, anything including your dad is locked in a vault. and so lay off.
I will do that. It's an honor to have you here. And can you believe it's been 40 years since that 82 team?
No, but yeah, I feel like the years are going by like I'm standing on a subway platform and the cars are just going by. But it's been fun, and it's great to reminisce and great to look back on those years and how magical that 82 season was.
I want to go back even further with you. Again, you started with the Milwaukee Braves. Fans remember the Braves came here in the mid-'60s. For all those years you played in Milwaukee, what was the experience like coming to Atlanta? Because this was virgin territory with pro teams in the South.
Yeah, I had a little experience in Atlanta because my brother played here in 1954.
Okay.
And I remember how crazy those fans were. I mean, you couldn't put enough seats in the ballpark over at Ponce de Leon.
The Crackers, right?
The Crackers, yeah. And so we were looking forward to it because, you know, we were supposed to be down here in 1965. And there was a court order holding us there for another year. So, you know, the only people who were in the stands were your family, and it was sad. You know, coming back here, down here, was really magical at that time. The fans were excited about it. You know, you still had your Aaron, and you still had your, you know, Eddie Matthews, and it was really cool stuff. And you know, and it was, you know, the ballpark was a great hitter's ballpark. That was for sure.
And it's amazing. You mentioned in your induction speech getting to play with Henry Aaron. It wasn't Hank Aaron that christened Fulton County Stadium. It was you with the first home run.
Yeah, it was opening night against Pittsburgh. I hit 2 home runs. We lost 3-2.
Jeez, Hank, come on, give him some help.
Where's Felix Millan when you need him, right?
That's exactly right. Felix, and yeah, he was so cooperative when I hit into the 4 double plays.
I got to ask you about that '82 season, because growing up, Murph was my favorite player, Dale Murphy. What was it like managing him? He actually told the story about how you talked to him about how he was moving positions. And said he had no choice.
I just tried to get Murph's attention because he's so laid back.
Yeah.
That sometimes he sort of dozes off. And I mean, he's such a good player and he was such a good hitter. That I'd say, Murph, why don't you just, maybe catch the 9th inning or something like that. And then, of course, Murph would go into a freeze position. He'd start laughing and say, no, that's not going to happen. But he was, he got into pull crazy, Frenchie.
Yeah.
He started trying to pull. The first base dugout, over here at the ballpark, and he was hitting with a man at second base and nobody out, and he looked at me from the batter's box, and I said, Murph, just get him over, and he hit a home run over the right center field fence. I mean, but that's he didn't realize how much power he had,
potential,
and just trying to stay inside the ball. He was so much a better hitter than just trying to come around it.
And he wasn't the only one on that team. You had Dale Murphy, Bob Horner, and Chris Chambliss. I mean, you talk about 3 great hitters and terrific defender in Chris Chambliss at first base.
And great pros. And, and in all fairness, Horner got hurt for us. And Jerry Royster, what a magnificent job he did for us filling in for Bob. And we had a good group. Ramirez at shortstop, Hubbard at second, Benedict and Biff Pocoroba behind the plate, Harp, and of course Murph in the outfield, and Claudell Washington was our right fielder.
What was it like? Maybe an obvious question. You win 13 in a row to start the year. I mean, that's a dream start.
It was a dream start, and we were behind in a lot of those games, but we managed to hang tough. There was one game we won, we were losing to Nolan Ryan in Houston. You're not supposed to win that game. And we wind up coming out and, breaking the record.
We'd love to have you stick around for another half inning. We've got a million questions as we visit with Hall of Famer and Braves Hall of Famer, the great Joe Torre here in Atlanta. Torre receiving his plaque to enter the Braves Hall of Fame. Joe Torre and Leo Mazzoni with the ceremonial first pitch. How cool is this? Throws the first strike to Robbie Cano. How great is that? That is,
you talk about reminiscing. All of a sudden Robbie comes out in the Braves uniform. I said, wait a minute, I'd go back a little bit. He was one of those special players. I mean, he started out really badly for us, but he was one of those guys you look in his eye and he's going to be all right. He hits the ball in the air, it doesn't come down. But the game, I thought, Robbie had the ability to be something really special.
Yeah.
He really did.
Joe, you talk about special, you and Bobby Cox's relationship, and you know, as much fun as we have seeing everybody here, you know, it's not the same not having number 6 here either.
He was the professor, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's like clockwork watching him manage, and admire the heck out of him because he stayed the course with his players. And you just, you know, if somebody's a good manager, it doesn't mean they're making all the right moves at the right time. It means every single player knows what they're doing and when to do it, and playing their tails off. I mean, that to me is an indication of a manager that gets the most out of his players.
This is Matt Olson batting for the Braves in the 3rd inning, who lead 3-0. You also got to manage for one of the game's great characters and one of the, well, shall we say, men that broke the mold as far as owners goes, Ted Turner. What was it like working for Ted Turner when he owned the Braves?
It was exciting. I mean, Ted, you know, I came here, I think, because I was fired in New York, and because of the Superstation, they wanted someone who people could recognize. You know, and the fact that I managed the Mets for 5 years, they brought me here, and Ted was a kick, man. He came to the games all the time. One night, you know, we were ready to win a ball game, and you know, we got the second out in the top of the 9th inning, and Ted is out on the field into the dugout. I said, Ted, it's only 2 outs, and he ran back and jumped over the fence again and got back in his seat.
Jerry Jones, right?
And then when I went over to see him in '96, the World Series, and he said to me, you know, if we can't win it, I hope you do. Well, there's only 2 of us on the field.
But that's high praise, isn't it?
It worked for me.
Yeah, that's high praise.
No, we had a good relationship. We had a chance to hang with him in South Carolina, and you know, I enjoyed him. I mean, I worked for some very colorful people. You know, Ted, you got August Bush, and of course George Steinbrenner, who
you went through the gauntlet, man.
That's the triple crown.
I'll tell you,
right there.
in all fairness, though, I had George on the back 9, I think.
That's a good point.
Yeah, we got along pretty well, and in fact, I called him more than he called me. You know, contrary to what people think. You know what he does to his managers.
You know, around here, Chipper Jones obviously is everywhere. For you got to manage Derek Jeter, one of the great ones of all time, one of my favorite players. Have you watched some of his Netflix, the video, the documentary?
I'm up to date right now.
Yeah.
I've watched 4, and you know, I've never seen him so openly speak.
Yeah.
You know, even in the clubhouse, he was all business. You know, never had anybody visit the dugout. I mean, the clubhouse. You know, sometimes, you know, players will say, "Can I bring such and such in, or my brother, or somebody?" It was always the office for him, and he never did any of that. And he, not that he was closed mouth or anything, but I've never seen him as loose as I'm watching him being interviewed for this documentary, and I think it's so far so good.
It's been good.
I'm speaking for, I hope, a lot of Braves fans. With the great rivalry the Braves had with the Yankees, nobody who's a Braves fan likes the Yankees, right? It's just the natural thing. But you can't help but love Derek Jeter because he represented the game so incredibly well.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, the thing to me that I hate to think that we get away from in this game is forgetting about the game and lacking the respect for the game that it's earned all you know, through these years. But Derek Jeter only wanted to win. That's all he wanted to do. If he went 4 for 4 and we lost the ball game, you couldn't approach him.
Yeah.
Because he was angry that we didn't win. He was angry that we didn't win that particular game. And he was a tough cookie. He really was. And you know, I obviously proud of the fact that I was able to manage him for 12 years, and he was the same guy, never changed. He always had his priorities lined up.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you have a guy 21 years old, single in New York.
Alec Thomas adjusts in mid-flight. Nice play.
It's the only way they can get Austin Riley out right now. a bullet catch at center. He's been outstanding. You know, talking about a slugger, I got to ask you, you know, your relationship with Hank Aaron. And, of course, last year the Braves winning the World Series after Hank. So it was a special time here in Atlanta.
Yeah, Henry was, you know, he was such a good player. In a lot of ways, he was like Jeter because he never shared a lot.
Yeah.
You know, he came in, of course, all he had to deal with, you know, being black.
Yep.
In you know, different cities and have to deal with. He always kept it to himself, never complained about it, just showed up for work every day. And Henry was just so giving. I mean, if you needed help with something, ask him a question. He can give you. He was like going to school again when you were with Hank Aaron.
Yeah.
I remember when I was traded to the Cardinals, and we were in the All-Star game together, and I had trouble hitting Bill Stoneman, right-hand pitcher with Montreal. I said I can't pick up his curveball. I just can't find the ball. And he just said one simple thing. He says, hit off his slider, look for his slider. And I'll be darned, there was the ball. I went up there looking for his slider, and all of a sudden the ball didn't disappear on me.
Wow.
And you know, just little things that, you know, he
made him the greatest.
He would never keep to himself, but he wouldn't share unless you needed help or wanted help or asked for something.
The most amazing stat for Henry Aaron is not the home runs and the RBIs. But if you take away all of his home runs, he still had 3,000 hits.
Oh, that's.
I mean,
he, you know, and he could steal bases at will. But he never, you know, like Willie Mays stole bases for numbers. He stole bases for situations. And I don't think he ever got thrown out, to be honest with you.
Joe, it's an honor. Thanks for the wonderful memories. You look wonderful. Blessings to you and your family. It's an honor to have you back in Atlanta.
Thanks, Chip.
Thanks for stopping by.
Hall of Famer, Braves Hall of Famer.
Thank you.
The great Joe Torre.
What a pick. Look at that.
That's three old guys.
Maybe the best ever. Fans, get your phones ready to scan the Coors Light Check Into Chill QR code. That's coming up soon. Man, oh man, are we lucky. Terry Pendleton, then Joe Torre.
Yeah, and you know, I've always had so much respect for Joe, really because too of the stories Bobby would talk about him when we stay, and that's why for me it's you know, sad at the same time to not, you know, have Bobby here right now because of how much, you know, he's meant to this organization, and he would have loved being here this weekend, seeing everybody.
You know, when Joe Torre won the West in '82, you saw how great a straight shooter Joe Torre is. He said, look, I won this division with Bobby Cox's players. Yeah. There aren't many men who work in this game because we all have professional ego. He put that aside and acknowledged the remarkable work that Bobby Cox did in building what the Braves were in the early '80s.
Well, and I'll tell you this, I don't know if you'll ever see a picture with three managers that we showed before going to break, and Bobby, Joe Torre, and Tony La Russa. That picture, how much credibility, how many wins.
I can't think of a better managerial trio.
It's incredible.
That goes in at the same time. I mean, just awesome. As Josh Rojas bats in the fourth inning. By the way, Ian Anderson is not allowed a base runner yet.
No.
And for a young man that needs a good start, he is answering the bell and just missed there. Full count. 9 up, 9 down, 4 strikeouts for Ian Anderson, who's looking like himself tonight. And that is great to see. He is mixing everything. And fouled away to the left. Leo Mazzoni was inducted earlier today as well to the Braves Hall of Fame. Leo will be by and stop in for a visit. Great pregame tribute with Greg Maddux, John Smoltz, and Tom Glavine. As that is right down Broadway, and strike 3 for Rojas. 10 up, 10 down to start the game for Ian. 1 away.
To be honest with you, we've been talking all of them. I don't even know where I am on my scorebook anymore.
I'll help you out.
Yeah, you know what, Ian, just keep doing that and I'll write down K's. That's fine.
Well, you know what Phil Rizzuto, the Yankees broadcaster, used to do? WW. Wasn't watching.
Yeah, I like that.
Saves a lot of anxiety.
I'm going to have to take that.
Alex Thomas, the batter. Or Alec Thomas, I beg your pardon. He grounded out in his first at bat.
But I'm sure Bobby's watching tonight, and if you are, we miss you. Pam. Hope to see you.
Two quick strikes for Alek Thomas. Ian's got a good fastball tonight. Now the change is rifled into right. Actually a curveball. And Acuna hung with that. Might have lost that in the lights. High sky, but he made a good play. And that's the second out. Braves fans, take out your phones now. Scan the QR code on your screen for your chance to check in to chill. Coors Light's prizing out the ultimate Braves experience by treating you and a guest to a Coors Light decorated hotel room located in the Battery, Atlanta, and tickets to a game. Marte struck out in the first. Ketel has 10 homers. Man, oh man, Jeff, I am so impressed with the fact that Anderson is throwing his curveball and throwing it for strikes. It's been a very competitive pitch.
Looks like a guy who's on a mission out there right now.
You go from 81 to 94 in back-to-back pitches. And he is going so good, he can't wait to get his sign and rock again on that rubber. One ball, two strikes, two outs, top of the fourth inning. Chased it in the dirt, and Anderson is perfect through four. He has struck out 6 through 4 scoreless innings, and he enjoys a 3-0 lead. Here in game 2 of the Diamondbacks. Time to find out who's been hot. That's brought to you by Texas Pete. Look at what the Braves have done on their home field, Jeff, over the last 2 months.
Yeah, more important than that, 16 home sellouts in the 27 games you see at the bottom. They've outscored their opponents by 48 runs. They've out-homered them 49 to 26.
And they've out-homered Arizona 2-0 tonight. Ian Anderson 12 up, 12 down to start his night, and Eddie Rosario leads off the Atlanta fourth for Brian Snitker. The Braves looking to get 20 games over 500 again. They're 60 and 41 at the moment. Braves and Diamondbacks have split the first 4 games head to head this year. Braves try to take a 3-2 series lead with a win here tonight. And a little low. 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, you see this Braves offense too has made them work 75 total pitches.
Shift on for Rosario, who faces a 1-1 count.
He's looking more and more comfortable. Let's talk about a young pitcher. This offense, 77 pitches in the top of the fourth. Doing exactly what you want to do. Get him up and get to that bullpen.
2 balls, 2 strikes. One thing that's characterized this Braves team, Jeff, they have taken care of their business. When they have faced a team under 500, more often than not, they have clobbered those guys. That 21-8 stretch, when they played losing teams, catapulted them back into this race. As Rosario swung and missed for strikeout number 6. That is out number 1. William Contreras is coming up. It had been 3 weeks since William hit a home run. He took care of that in the second. Our Allstate mayhem moment.
Yeah, got a 3-2 pitch up in the zone. Just right of center, all the way over the seats in that Braves bullpen.
Tried to hit another one with that pitch, didn't get it. And no balls and a strike for William Contreras. The Braves lead on 2 homers, 3 runs, 4 hits. Ian Anderson has dazzled through 4 1-2-3 innings. And an even count and a ball and a strike. We'll wrap up the series here tomorrow afternoon. Max Fried will go to work for the Braves. What a treat it is to watch Max do his thing. Merrill Kelly will be the Diamondbacks starter. Driven in the air to right field. That's well hit. Varsho as far as he can go. It's a 2-homer night for Contreras. With all the rain in Atlanta, as Joe Simpson used to say, there's a lot of nitrogen in the air.
You don't see a ball from a right-handed hitter go that far opposite field a lot of the time. But a multi-home run game for Contreras. Then hit one for 3 weeks. Now he's got 2 back-to-back ABs. Almost same spot, Chip. Last time was a little bit of a slider that he hung. This time fastball up. Stays on top of it.
So he's had a perfect night. 3 homers for the Braves. Arcia the batter. He struck out his first time. The ball is jumping in Atlanta tonight. And this is the Braves game. They hit a ton of home runs. Second only to the Yankees in that category in the big leagues. There's a shot past third. Arcia a 1-out hit. The Braves are an astounding 30 games over 500 this year, Jeff, when they hit a home run.
Well, look, they got a lot of power. We talk about it. Second most home runs in all of baseball. And what it does to you, you know, when you're talking about a lineup that is lengthened. Again, home runs this year, 1 through 3 in the lineup, 58. Middle part, 4 through 6, 49, and 7 through 9, 51. And that, to me, that is the difference in how you are 21 games over 500.
Michael Harris is the hitter. He struck out his first time. I can't wait to ask Leo how a pitching staff tries to navigate this Braves lineup.
Well, it's tough
with the numbers you just mentioned.
I think the biggest thing, you just don't have a lot of breaks in the lineup. Sometimes you could get, you know, an inning where you felt like, you know, you could get away with stuff, throw a lot of fastballs maybe.
That ball cracked to deep center. Alec Thomas sprinting to the warning track. He's a step shy of the wall. Michael just missed. And Arcia back to first after Harris's deep fly out to center field. 2 outs for Ronald Acuna.
I'm pretty sure Martin just held his breath for a long time on the pitcher's mound.
So Acuna's reached base twice tonight. Once on an infield hit, once on an error. He's our Synovus Get There feature. As we mentioned, 100 stolen bases for Ronald. He got there last night.
Now 22 steals this season, which more than anything, the great thing is it shows you that what happened last year, he's healthy. He's reached base safely in 14 of the last 16 against the Diamondbacks.
They give Ronald the whole right side of the infield. With 2 outs. And that'll slice out of play. No balls and a strike. Olson has homered. Contreras has hit 2. And we lead 4-0 here in the middle game of 3 with Arizona. Haven't had time to mention how great Kyle Wright looked last night. 13th win. That leads the National League.
Again, Chip, he's attacking the zone, sinkers down. He's getting ground balls. He's working deep into the game because of the pitch count.
There's a line drive, hard hit to short. But Acuna will be retired for out number 3. Contreras having himself a great night. 2 homers, 3 RBIs. This one opposite field. And after 4, the Braves rolling 4-0 over Arizona. Rocking Leo Mazzoni. For so many years, Bobby Cox's right-hand man as the pitching coach for the Braves and their glory years. What a treat for Leo to manage pitching coach three different men who earned him 6 Cy Young Awards, and Leo Mazzoni, part of 15 division titles with the Atlanta Braves. Pretty good looking picture, by the way, of Leo, whose staff led the National League in ERA in 10 separate seasons. And now here he is with us tonight, a Braves Hall of Famer.
How about that? It was one of the most wonderful nights I've ever had in my life. And believe me, I was getting a little nervous down there when they started showing all that stuff. But I guess once I got up on the podium, I just let it fly, and it turned out okay. But what a wonderful tribute from the Atlanta Braves, the organization, and everybody associated with the Atlanta Braves.
You know, Leo, I know we just talked for a second off air, but I thought it was great. You touched on pretty much everybody that was instrumental in your career. But, you know, you mentioned Bobby Cox at the end and how important he was for you.
No question about it. And a matter of fact, we're going over to see him this week. I'm taking the plaque over to show him. We'll get some pictures done and maybe have a toddy or two with him. You know, you never know.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
but why won't you?
I know Pam will make some peach pie.
Ooh.
Yeah. How about that?
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
See if she'll send some up in the booth.
Leo, look, we've got Ian Anderson on the mound.
Yeah.
By the way, he's only perfect through 4.
Well, you know what? I kind of feel like he was going to pitch a good game. He's had a tough, difficult outings, right? But here's the thing. You know, you just ride it out. Everybody's going to have some adversity during the season. And say, for example, in this game tonight, you know, in other words, Bobby Cox told me one time, don't ever tell me to get a pitcher out with a good taste in his mouth. If he's pitching good, you leave him in and let him pitch. You know, no, I'm not saying but that's what he used to tell me. You know, he says, don't come and tell me, well, I think we should take him out now because he's getting a good taste in his mouth. He said, I don't want to hear that. You're in the big leagues. You're expected to win. And guess what? The kid's changing speeds. He's on the attack. You know, I've always liked him, and I think you just ride it. Every once in a while, you face a little adversity during the season, and he'll come back from it because, you know, I think the best example you can see is Smoltz being 2-12 in '91, and we didn't take him out of the rotation. That's a big reason why he went to the Hall of Fame, probably.
Well, I think, too, tonight, Glav, during his talk to you, said at the very end, low and away for strike 1. And I think about
from there.
And I think about Kyle Wright this year and how improved he is. He's throwing down, keeping that ball, getting a lot of ground balls.
Well, I tell you what, I love the way the Braves rotation is shaping up.
Yeah.
They really, to me, have been good. And I think you got the best manager in the game in Brian Snitker, because you have a go-between the school that we graduated from and the modern school.
Yeah.
So he's the go-between, and I think he's the best manager for this organization at this particular time in the history of this organization.
This is Dalton Varsho, 7th strikeout for Anderson, by the way, whose career high is 9. And to Leo's point, attack, attack, attack.
Yep.
Yeah, attack, and you know, here's what I found out too, guys. When you were asking me how to pitch against a great lineup like the Braves have, we found out in facing great lineups over the years that the one thing that hurt us the most was a breaking ball strike.
Yeah.
A breaking ball strike, a high slider, a slider strike, something. So in other words, what we wanted to try to do, and if you're facing a Braves lineup, you try to push the throttle, pull the throttle, and get your breaking stuff off the plate.
Yeah.
And then that would be your base anyway to start with.
Well, you know, those hanging breaking balls, those are the ones
they go further than any pitch in the game.
Yep.
2 strikes for Varsho, and that bounces up.
So what are you up to these days?
Well, we're living up on Lake Hartwell, and I do pitching seminars around the country, and I do a lot of work for Greg McMichael and the Braves. I go down and see Bobby all the time, and just you know, enjoying it, watching the Braves in another pennant chase. And I mean, come on, it don't get much better than that, does it?
No, it does not. Last year was a fun year.
Oh my golly, that was awesome, you know, and there's no reason why they can't do that again.
Right at Ronald, he makes the play. And struggle with the lights a little bit. He's saying, hey, hit it somewhere else.
Yeah, right.
2 outs.
I think the strength of this club, when I was watching last year, I think this is one of the best infields I've ever seen. I mean, with power and defense. And right now, with Albies out, you know, Albies is better than, you know, than what you got, but the other guy is good too. But this left side, the infield, to me, is one of the best.
There's not a better.
Well, we talked about that when TP was here. Look, when you got Terry Pendleton, Belliard, or Blauser, Mark Lemke, Sid Bream.
Well, the thing is, they were great. No question about it. They were great defensively. These dudes got power.
Yeah, they can swing.
I mean, they can swing it too, you know. And I think the heart and soul of this ball club last year was the infield.
they all played over 155 games.
That's right. There you go. Go to the post.
That is a huge thing for me when you look at even the team this year now with Michael Harris taking over at center field.
Player.
It's unbelievable, but you have the same guys every night. Everybody knows what their role is on the team.
Yep, no question about it. When you go to the post when it's your turn, whether it's a position player or a pitcher, you're dealing.
Yep.
1-1 pitch to Jake McCarthy. Bounces up there. That's one of my favorite phrases from Bobby Cox. You signed up for 162, didn't you?
Well, and that was, the strength, Leo. You were around it forever. No player wanted to walk into Bobby's office and tell him he couldn't go.
No.
That was like the worst thing you could do.
That would have been a good idea.
No.
And you know what, though? The pitchers had a saying, too. We're not going to miss any starts. We don't want to miss no starts. And it was incredible how many all the starts they made in a row for a long period of time.
Never got hurt.
I think they went 537 one time, missed one.
Not that you're counting.
No, but somebody told me that. I didn't know it, but I knew there was a couple thousand innings there where we didn't. But with Bobby at the helm, I think when we were together, I think the starting rotation average making 142 the 160 game start, some crazy number. But you always tell the pitchers, you got 2 pitching coaches, you got me, and they said, well, who's the other one? I said, well, it's the manager. The manager is your pitching coach too, because he determines whether you can win or come out, and therefore you go from there. So, but the reason, Bobby, go ahead.
That breaks up the perfect game bid. Jake McCarthy with 2 strikes, trying to hustle into second, and the throw just a touch late. So 4 2/3 of perfect ball. Jake McCarthy with a 2-out hustle double for the Diamondbacks here in the 5th.
Right. But anyway, what we were talking about is he was a great handler of pitchers, and it sure made my job a lot easier, that's for sure.
Well, and y'all had the connection and communication you did with each other. You kind of knew when a guy's ready to come out,
you didn't have to look at you and go, okay, we had fun.
You were fortunate, too. You worked under Bobby Cox as the manager, but also Johnny Sain.
Johnny Sain, who I think should be in Cooperstown. I think that greatest pitching coach in the history of the game. A lot of people didn't like him.
Yeah.
You know why they didn't like him? Because they were smarter than he was. He was smarter than them. And in talking to him and taking me under his wing in '79, I said, well, why not pick the brain of the greatest pitching success? Well, I'm sitting there and he's talking to me, and I'm going, well, I'm not smart at all. I'm a dummy, listening to Johnny talk.
I'm in the wrong profession.
I said, whoa, why didn't I do? No wonder I didn't get to the big leagues. I had to up to AAA. I wish I'd had him to get over the hump. But he was amazing, and he took me under his wing, and he told me he wants to give somebody his stuff, but nobody wants it. I said, I'll take it.
McCarthy's going to take off and steal third, and he's 90 feet away with 2 outs. And Leo, correct me if I'm wrong, something that Johnny Sain proposed is something that you brought to this Braves ball club, throwing more often between starts, not less, which seems to make such great sense.
More often with less exertion.
Right.
So we would throw a couple times in between starts, because you had a 5-man rotation. Johnny had a 4, so I decided instead of giving the guy the extra day off, we go down to the bullpen and throw a little bit and get the dust off. So we just, and you know what, Glavine said it best. He said we threw so much, but under control, controlling the effort, that we could coach ourselves out on the mound and not have to wait for a pitching coach to come out and tell us what was wrong.
I remember last year a lot, Glav talking about what you just said, how a big thing for him in his career was 2 bullpens between starts.
Absolutely.
And it really took him to a new level.
Yeah, and they loved it. I mean, the guys loved it. Why not? You make your living at 60 feet. Now, listen, if you don't control the effort, it don't work. I'm going to tell you that.
How about this spot?
Yeah.
Ian Anderson in the stretch for the first time, gives up the hit. Now he's going 3-0 to the next pitcher. Is that difficult for a pitcher to manage when he's
maybe when you lose a no-hitter going or whatever, but he's got to realize that he's not in any trouble. So what you do is, look, you're not in any trouble here, okay? So let's just, you got to get 1 more out here. It's no big deal. You got 4 runs to work with, so you just low-key what's going on, But when guys are having a couple difficult times, a lot of times they're sitting going, uh-oh, no, is this what it's going to happen now or whatever, And, when I used to do was go out and say, don't you give in to nobody. So you walk the guy. Don't give in to this guy. Let's make some pitches. Let's go.
That's something that John has said, that Tom Glavine has said. You would have your pitchers meetings and say, okay, Matt Williams, good slider hitter, but not your slider, John.
That's
or
right.
So-and-so has a good change-up,
but not yours.
Bat, but not yours.
That's right. And I would even, we get some scouting reports, and I'd read them, and get them all done. And then I'd kind of, add a little thing here and there, that wasn't in it, to the strength of our pitcher that was pitching that night.
Well, I loved it when I came up. Leo was there in 05. And, you know, this was my first time being in the meetings before the games. And he would always say to every pitcher before or every hitter when he went over, low and away to get strike one, and then give the scouting report. And I remember going up to him one time and I said, just got to ask you, Leo, why do you keep saying it? We all know it. And he goes, because you need to know it some more.
You need to know it some more, yeah. That's what.
And I'm like, all right, I'll listen to that.
Now, you know that Jeff Francoeur pitched in a big league game, right?
Yeah.
I'd love to get your thoughts on what you thought of Jeff's work as this ball
Get foul.
whacked foul into the seats.
Hey, I had one good inning. That's what
Let's talk about that inning.
Hey, I did keep it low. Sinker, had a little slider.
Isn't that wonderful? Let me tell you something. It's an embarrassment for the game of baseball to have a position player pitch in a major league ball game when these people out here in the stands have paid good money not to make a mockery of the game.
I will tell you this, Leo, that night in Baltimore when I was with Philly, the fans had left the game at that point. So there was no mockery. There were no fans left.
All hope was gone.
It was gone.
You know, fortunately, we didn't have to do any of that. So let's go. Call it.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Geraldo Perdomo, the Arizona shortstop, visiting with Braves Hall of Famer Leo Mazzoni. How great is it to see all the guys you coached and spent so much time in a big league dugout with?
It's wonderful. It's great to see Snit down the dugout with Walt Weiss. But this ballpark is just absolutely magnificent. And when you sit down there, when I was in the dugout for a while, and I go, man, I sure miss this, you know. I mean, but, you know, time, right place for everything. You move on. And now it's a different decade, and the Braves are defending world champions. So there you go. See?
Leo, I know some of your pupils couldn't be here, but we got a wonderful piece of video we want you to check out.
Oh, my God. Okay.
I don't know what kind of pitcher I would have been had I not been traded to.
Performance, don't you, Jeff? And that's exactly what Ian Anderson has provided us so far.
Yeah, and you know, I love what Leo said there at the end, talking about him too. You know, you're not in trouble. You're up 4-0. You pitched a heck of a game, and he comes right back and gets a big strikeout. There in 85 pitches, and you know, he's through 5 innings, and at this point you want to see him go out there for that 6th inning and get through it.
So 8 strikeouts for Anderson, 1 shy of his career high. Again, last time Anderson has gone 6 complete innings, June 19th. He is on pace to go right by that tonight in a very important start for him and for this team. As Arizona will go to the bullpen, new pitcher, this is Caleb Smith. So Corbin Martin went 4 innings and gave up 4 runs. And 6 Braves hits. And Dansby Swanson with a shot into left field. First pitch single for the Braves shortstop, who is 1 for 3. That's his 3rd hit in the series. And Swanson now with a 4-game hitting streak.
Yeah, this Atlanta offense, we know what they do to lefties. They had a good approach, and then you get a lefty in. Dansby gets a pitch right down the middle. Blinds it in left field.
So the line for Martin, 4 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, a walk, 6 strikeouts. That was the good news, but he gave up 3 home runs. So Smith versus Olsen. Matt homered in the 1st inning, a 2-strike, 2-out homer. And had a healthy cut there and fouled that straight back. Well, we missed the home run derby before the game, but the Braves are winning the home run derby during the game.
This is what I was going to do to BJ.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that you can say that after tossing away the wrong sign during the broadcast last night is
that was the highlight there.
Is pretty strong. Yeah, but Mother Nature wouldn't allow us to have the home run derby. Won't be rescheduled this year, so you guys maybe will have to wait till next season.
One more year.
Settle things once and for all as that's off the plate. 1 and 2 strikes. They've gone final in Miami. The Mets have shut out the Marlins 4-0. That's the final score in South Florida. So the Braves have to finish off this game to keep pace with the Mets, whom we play a lot coming up next month. On the ground to second. There's one, and Nobody at the bag for the return throw. That takes care of Dansby on a force play. Olsen at first with one man out. Austin Riley is having an MVP caliber season. Braves third baseman winning that honor is not at all a rarity, and that's our landmark player comparison.
Hey, look at Chipper's July of '99 when he won that MVP. Austin's right there. It's 24 extra base hits in July in 24 games. What a month. What a way to put himself up in the MVP voting. We all know how that ended up for Larry in '99.
It's amazing to me the career evolution that Austin Riley has made. If you recall last season, in the early days of the year, Austin was throwing out a hit here and there, not a lot of power. Played well defensively.
Well, there's a lot of talk, you know, is he going to be our third baseman?
Do we need to go get one?
Yeah.
What do they say in this sport? Sometimes the best deals are the ones you don't make.
100%.
Because once May turned, Austin Riley took off and had the first of what will be MVP caliber seasons.
Yeah, it
for
really
Braves.
hasn't stopped.
No. In fact, his last 162 games, 46 home runs for Austin Riley as a big league hitter. This one poked to the right side and heading out of play. And Jeff, I'm sure that every big league player will go through a stretch where for a week you're just on top of everything. You're just barreling the ball. Everything's crisp. Everything feels good.
When you do it for a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's, you know, and he does something too. You know, he had that one little spurt early in the season where, you know, he kind of got in a funk for 2.5 weeks. But it's like when you bust out, it just, you make up for lost time. You carry a team. And that's what he's been doing.
What's been amazing too is not only is he throwing out his 1 or 2 hits a game, it's how hard he's hitting the ball. I mean, there have been no cheapies.
Think about his only out tonight. I mean, 2 at bats, but it was a line drive to center field all the way to the warning track that almost got over his head.
So Riley looking for his 16th multi-hit game this month. Pops this one up on a 3-1 count. Arizona in a shift. Long run. Who's going to catch up? Nice play. At second, a throw back to first is going to double off Matt Olson. And that's an unfortunate ending to the Braves' 5th inning. Riley and the Braves run themselves out of the inning. 6th inning, 4-0 Atlanta.
Tonight, who is our Zaxby's indescribably good play. Well, he's had 5 outstanding innings, 4 2/3, pretty much perfect. He's had Chip, you made it the best point. He's been pounding the zone tonight. He's getting ahead of hitters, and that way he's able to go fastball up, the changeup. There you go, another fastball up in that inning at the 1st and 3rd. A completely different Ian Anderson than what we've seen the last 2 or 3 starts.
And from a hitter standpoint, Jeff, he's also thrown that curveball a lot.
Yeah.
What does that do for you at the plate when he goes from a 2-pitch pitcher to a 3rd pitch?
You know, it gives you another thing to think about. When he's getting ahead of the zone, then you feel like, man, he can go to any of these 3 pitches and get me out. When he's falling behind, or even, you know, if he's not throwing that curveball, you know it's either fastball, changeup, and you can eliminate one.
We've been so busy upstairs, we haven't had a chance to welcome Paul Bird in. Birdie's with us tonight. And Birdie, you had a great curveball in your day, too. Ian Anderson has thrown it a lot tonight.
Absolutely. And I agree with Jeff. That's the difference. And we haven't seen that in the last outing. When he had a good month prior to his last start, he was mixing in that breaking ball more. Didn't see that in the last outing. He's made an adjustment tonight, and guys, with the fastball too, he's also pounding the zone. He's not trying to be too fine. He's thrown some pitches down the middle, and he's finding out that you can do that at this level.
Well, a 1-hit shutout to this point, and he's 1 strike away from equaling his career high with strikeouts. He's sitting on number 8 and only 89 pitches. But he is about to begin his 3rd trip through the lineup, so that has been an issue for Ian from time to time. So with a 4-0 lead, the Braves bullpen has begun to work here in game 2. Jesse Chavez is beginning to loosen up. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. That equals the career high, number 9.
I'll tell you one thing I like about that too is how many times do we see Ian Anderson 3-2 changeups, 3-2 curveballs right here, 4-0. Here you go. Here's 95, 3-2, and I'm gonna throw it right by you and beat you to the spot. That's confidence. That's pitching.
And as you heard Leo say a little while ago, let's let Ian Anderson leave this game with a good taste in his mouth.
Well, look, worst case, what does he do? He hits a ball up the middle. Fact of the matter is you don't give him a free base. You make him earn it, and you got the strikeout.
He struck out Josh Rojas looking back in the 4th inning. He's 0 for 2. Jake McCarthy, the only Arizona batter with a hit tonight.
And guys, even right there, him bouncing a pitch, like Leo said, it's okay when guys are on bases. It's okay to do that. It's okay to miss. Go right back at it. Forget about your last pitch. Concentrate on the next. And if you throw that slow curveball, it makes your fastball better because now you're changing speeds and you don't have to be perfect with your fastball.
Bertie, that was one of my keys to the game. One pitch at a time.
Yeah.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Agree 100%. And you can't carry, we've talked about this too, you can't carry your last outing into this game. You have to have confidence even when you're struggling.
To center. 2 outs. So Rojas 0 for 3. Alec Thomas is the batter. He might be tired from running to the center field fence. The Braves have chased him all over the pasture tonight with their home runs. Thomas is 0 for 2. And the Diamondbacks, if you're just joining us, traded David Peralta before the game to the Tampa Bay Rays. So Torey Lovullo overseeing a youthful overhaul in the desert. They've got some really good young players here at the major league level and up and down their system. And perhaps they won't be finished by Tuesday 6 p.m. They still have some interesting names to acquire at the deadline. As this one lined to third by Thomas, who tried to go the other way. And Ian Anderson is through 6 with a 1-hit shutout. Talk about leaving with a good feeling. That's exactly what the Braves right-hander has going tonight. He enjoys a 4-zip advantage. Sale lets you follow your favorite players wherever they go for $24.99. Blackout and other restrictions apply. The sale ends August 2nd. Visit MLB.tv for the details. Braves enjoy a big lead. 4-0 is your score. Ian Anderson, terrific. 6 innings of 1-hit ball. For this packed house in Atlanta, Marcell Ozuna will be the first hitter in the 6th. He has struck out twice tonight.
Yeah, Martin kind of had Ozuna chasing a little bit tonight in and worked the outer part.
Two balls, no strikes. Ozuna, Rosario, and Contreras are the Braves hitters coming up. And that's way high. Ball 3. Trading deadline is Tuesday 6 p.m. Minor deal made today. The Cubs traded former Brave Chris Martin to the Dodgers. The big news was Luis Castillo going to the Seattle Mariners, who are going for it. And ball 4 on 4 pitches. Thank you very much. Ozuna walks to start the inning. And Eddie Rosario's coming up. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a run. And we await a quick word from Zaxby's.
Fried chicken salad under 600 calories with the dressing? You better believe it. Only at Zaxby's.
Rosario, then Contreras, who's hit 2 homers. Caleb Smith beginning his second inning of work. Just past 9 o'clock in Atlanta. Heavy rains earlier this evening, but no delay, and it's turned out to be a lovely night. And if you haven't made plans, hope you'll join us tomorrow for the series wrap-up with the Diamondbacks. Max Fried is on the mound. Then we have an off day Monday, then a quick 2-game series with the Phillies coming up early next week.
Yeah, I mean, I would have never thought we were going to start tonight's game on time the way it was at about 6 o'clock here.
I mean, it was a monsoon. You could not see past the the brick wall in the concourse out in left center field. But Ed Mangan and the grounds crew, as we said, just a remarkable job. First of all, getting the tarp on before the weather got bad, and then getting the field prepped and ready to roll. One ball, one strike. See how this guy'd be tough on left-handed hitters. He's not allowed an earned run in 9 of his last 2 appearances.
He was with the Marlins for a while, right?
Line into the right field corner. That's down for a hit. That'll roll all the way to the fence. Ozuna on his way to third. They're going to wave him around. Wet baseball. Here he comes. Throw to the plate. Will be late. All the way around to third is Rosario. The Braves head on. It's 5-0. That was a great send by Wash.
That was a great send. Great job by Rosario falling him over. As you said, wet baseball. Ball down the right field line the whole time, and a short hop. Look at this. Does a good job of staying on this pitch. A lot like the guy we saw last year. Not pulling off it. Marcel, good job. Never stopping. Little lesson. Make the third base coach stop you, and Wash sent him.
So another 2-strike hit for the Braves, who've had a handful of those tonight. They have 8 hits in total. And now Contreras. Only thing better than a 2-homer game is a 3-homer game. He's up to 13 home runs, 3 RBIs tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. A lot of working on Marcel's running form. 1 ball, 1 strike. On the ground to third, infield in, ball off the chest of Rojas, and the throw to first is going to get his man. And that is out number 1. Orlando Arcia, the hitter.
Yeah, good read by Rosario. Started to come off the bag a little bit with him. And when he kept it in front of him with no outs, going to give Arcia a chance to drive him in.
Yeah, fly ball gets you a run.
Yeah.
Orlando single, snapped an 0 for 13. That hit came in the 4th inning. Infield still in for the Diamondbacks. In a game that is filled with scenarios where a non-player would say, I don't know how he did that. Here's one of them. I don't know how an infield has the courage to play in with the way the ball is jumping off the Braves bat tonight.
You better be paying attention, I'll tell you that.
Man. Ooh. That costs Orlando a strike, even count.
I told you I love the outfield. I have to worry about that too much.
There were times where I saw the ball get to you a little too quickly too. Out in right. 1-1 count. Line drive into center field. That's going to drop for a hit. Arcia has 2 hits and picks up his 22nd RBI. And Caleb Smith has given up 2 runs in the 6th inning.
Man, that's a great job of hitting. Knowing the infield's in, all you got to do is get something over their head, gets a changeup. See him throw the hands, knowing I'm going to go up the middle the other way. Gets rolled with the RBI.
So this remarkably balanced Braves offense, Jeff, continues its excellent work at the plate. They've scored 6 times tonight.
We talked about the home runs for the Atlanta offense, batting order wise. RBI is pretty darn good too. 1 to 3, 159, 4 through 6, 152, and 7 through 9 in the order, 150. I would call that balance.
Yep. As Michael Harris looks for his first hit tonight. 41 hits since June 13th for Michael, with 9 homers, 24 RBIs. He's looking to get into double digits in the home run column in his rookie season. I've told you a million times, one of my favorite seasons in covering the Braves was that 05 team. When young kids come up and, if not have immediate success, have a lot of success, which your group did. When you see a kid coming up from Double-A like Harris with, what, 40 some odd games down there, and get to the show and have the impact he has, boy, that is so rewarding individually, collectively, and for the entire organization.
Man, we talked about the Braves and the minor league system and the pipeline, and I think what they've always done a good job is bringing a few guys up like that, Chip. You bring a couple young guys up, put them with veteran guys, let them get experience, and then you start that cycle over again.
Ronald's got a hit tonight. Now he's facing a lefty. Let's see if he can split a gap. All the way to the backstop. That'll ricochet toward the Braves on deck circle. And Arcia moves up on a very wild pitch. So an RBI chance for Ronald with a single.
Yeah, that one just sailed away on Smith. One thing we talk about with this offense you love too is the tack-on runs. 1 in the first, 2 in the second, then 1 in the fourth, 2 more here. It just takes it out of the other team.
Somebody's going to pay for Ronald Acuna Jr.'s July struggles. Maybe this is the spot where that'll happen. 2 balls, no strikes. Hitters count. Arcia with good speed stands at second. 2 outs, 2 in the Atlanta 6th. Popped up. Rojas says he has it in foul ground, and he does on the warning track, and that retires the side. The Braves score 2 more in the 6th.
Taking over for Ian Anderson, who had quite a night here. A very good bounce back outing for Ian, who finishes 6 shutout innings, matches a career high 9 strikeouts, in line for his 9th win of the season. It also helps out Brian Snitker and the bullpen, as they will be down Kenley Jansen. Not only did he throw 30+ pitches last night, but also coming into the evening, as you'll see in case you missed it, felt a little tinge in his back, and this is the last pitch of the night, and he said he felt it again. You see him kind of grab at the back there this afternoon. I saw him, and guys, he said it's certainly locked up. He went through a lot of treatment this afternoon. I think even after last night's game, came in with the heating pad on his back, was hoping to go through long toss this afternoon, but of course the rain kind of threw a wrench into those plans. And so for now, he's just trying to sort of monitor that he doesn't think it is anything too severe. He said he's gone through this before, but something to keep an eye on when it comes to Kenley Jansen.
Absolutely. When you talk about the back like that, that's one thing you want to make sure is under control. And, you know, with the way the Braves are playing right now and playing good baseball, look, you can afford to give him some time to get healthy. And with the rest of the arms down in that bullpen. So for him, I think it's more or less anything. Get that back under control. Don't do anything that, you know, gets you out longer than you need to be.
Well, especially with what's ahead for the Braves.
Yeah,
and every
exactly.
game is important, but you've got 2 divisional games with the Phillies coming up. Then you've got that 5-game series on the road with the first place New York Mets coming up.
Yeah, and if your offense can do what they're doing tonight, then you don't need him.
Right.
That bullpen.
Which is exactly the way we like it. Up 6-0. Arizona just 1 hit. This one softly hit toward left. Rosario will scamper in a stride or 2, and Ketel Marte is out number 1. 1 up, 1 down. Christian Walker up. Here's a quick word from Delta.
Delta, proud to be the official airline of the 2021 World Champion Atlanta Braves.
Love watching Jesse Chavez pitch. Nothing fancy. Here it is. I'm going to work quickly, and I'm going to throw strikes.
And I'm going to cut the ball. I'm going to sink it. If I can get you off the plate, I'm going to. And
Christian Walker is 0 for 2. Had a long at bat in the 2nd inning. 11 pitches before Ian Anderson struck him out. And that's a check swing strike. Walker's the best home run hitter on the Diamondbacks club with 23 of them. But a .201 batting average. Dalton Varsho on deck. We're in the 7th. Which leads us to the stretch presented by Synovus. Trevor, Peter, and Brian Jordan will recap. It's been a great day here at Truist Park. 3 new members of the Braves Hall of Fame were inducted. Atlanta's played long ball tonight. And when Ian Anderson needed a big start, he more than held up his end of the bargain, partner.
he did. I'll tell you what, you know, the last few starts, he's stood up there on the podium. Chip, after the game, said, I got to get better. He came out tonight on the attack, throwing those pitches, and what a big lift for him.
And the team.
Well, and for him, I think it is, assuming, as Jesse Chavez again just works quick, gets a strikeout, but assuming Ian Anderson's next start is Thursday in New York, he needed a good start tonight. Something to feel good going into that start, something to build off of.
2 up, 2 down for Chavez. Dalton Varsho had a couple of hits last night. He is 0 for 2 tonight. This guy's a good looking player. He can hit. Catcher, outfielder, DH, first base type. Son of Gary Varsho, who had a super major league career. And that's what's so exciting for the Diamondbacks franchise. They're going through a rebuild, but their farm system is loaded with terrific offensive talent. Now, can they find some pitching? Well, time will tell.
Yeah, you know, it's a little bit Diamondbacks kind of like the Marlins to me, and the fact that, you know, they're in a tough division. You know, you got the Braves, Mets, and Phillies out there. You got the Giants, Dodgers, Padres. You know, there's not much room for error when you're going through a season.
Nope. But you think of all these young players, again, most of them first, second, third year players.
For sure.
They are learning on the job, and they're holding their own. I mean, they're only 9 under 500 in the National League West. It's something for their fan base to get excited about as they move forward with Torey Lovello. 2 balls and a strike. Broken bat and fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes your count. Another sellout here at Truist Park, Jeff. Over 41,000. 41,682.
Just what I guessed.
Yeah, we were wondering, with all the bad weather around Metro Atlanta, would the folks turn out? Well,
yeah,
the rain's not going to keep Braves country away.
I guess like anything, if you live in Atlanta or this area somewhere, you know there's a good chance for those pop-up showers. They'll soften the greens up.
Board had 2-2 for Varsho. I guess it was a 3-2 count, so he flipped the bat away. Nobody's arguing about that. And he reaches base via base on balls with 2 outs. And Jake McCarthy, the villain, he broke up the perfect game bid by Ian Anderson with 2 outs in the 5th inning. That's right. Ian retired the first 14 Arizona hitters in order to start the game. That's how great Anderson was this evening.
Might be the best I've seen his fastball all year.
Looped foul toward third and off the net. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And you knew he was feeling good about it because we saw a couple times 2-2, 3-2 reaching back with that fastball to finish off a Diamondbacks hitter.
On the ground, Olsen, nice play, takes it to the bag himself, and that will end Arizona's 7th. 6-0 Atlanta. Trevor, it's time for the stretch.
Don't go away. It's time for our Xfinity game break. Check it out. The home run derby actually did go down. Where did it go down? In the cages underneath. Jeff Francoeur was a no-show. Here's BJ walking it off with the last swing. Who did Frenchie pick? He picked Team Jordan. He knew BJ was going to win anyways. 2, Jeff Francoeur, 0. That's my take. Guys.
Paul was right on, guys. Jeff didn't show up, and I hit the bomb to win it, man. So, and he knew I was going to take it anyway, man. The pressure was on. All the young guys picked Jeff Francoeur, which really motivates me. I'm Mr. Clutch, guys. I love the pressure.
You live for those moments.
Oh, I live for those moments, man.
Save it, BJ. You didn't walk anybody off.
Hey, you should have showed up and defended yourself,
Let me tell you
man.
this right now. I'll go ahead and tell you right now. I'm throwing the gauntlet down. Next year, we're doing it again. Same teams, and whenever Alumni Weekend is.
Oh, now you're going to make me work out all year again. Holy cow.
Well, you're going to be a year older, you know?
Hey, Chip, you did a great job, too, emceeing, man. I loved it.
Hey, guys, thank you. I appreciate it. It was really an honor to do it. And, you know, Brian, I've really got mixed emotions. I don't know how I can pull for a guy that throws away the wrong sign when he makes his pick.
He knew. I mean, that was the telling tale right there. He threw his own pitcher away.
I got confused looking at the teleprompter, whatever the thing is, the TV.
You got confused picking your team, too.
Oh, no.
Hey, as we continue on, by the way, big tip of the cap to you guys. Great job with an extended Braves Live today.
Yeah.
I know our programming was supposed to include the home run derby. That didn't happen. You, Trevor, and Peter, awesome job getting us ready for the Hall of Fame inductions in the ball game tonight. That's not easy to do, and we thank you for doing it. It was a great watch.
Our pleasure, guys, and it was easy working with Trevor, Peter. We can do anything. Just put your mind to it, guys.
You can do anything. You can do anything except win a home run derby.
Oh,
okay,
save it up there,
great job.
Hey, Frenchie.
Yeah.
I just want to tell you, next year when you have the home run derby, how about your team show up? Peter Moylan wasn't there.
Peter
AJ's
Moylan was here
show.
ready to go.
I'm down there lobbing softballs. I mean, I'm into it. Avery's ready to go. He's got his game face on like game 4
Hey, Bernie,
95.
how do you know that me and Peter didn't meet up this morning and get some work in?
Oh, I know that
saying,
didn't
I'm just
happen.
saying the way it looks.
You are not going to
saying.
show up too early there, Jeff.
Well, you know what? 2023, we're going to finally settle this.
All right, man. All right.
And you know what else we're going to do? We're going to build an arena and date to make sure that if it does get rained out, we're doing it another night.
Oh, my goodness.
Now that sounds like a plan. Guys, great job. Look forward to catching up with you on Braves Live, hopefully after the Braves finish off the Diamondbacks in Game 2 tonight. Noe Ramirez on the mound for Arizona. He'll face Swanson, Olsen, and Riley. The Braves have 6 runs on 9 hits. Arizona just 1 base hit in the game. Anderson and Chavez have been terrific for the Braves, as Dansby didn't get that. And that is out number 1 here in the 7th inning. Braves tandem of Olsen and Riley has been terrorizing National League pitchers this month. Jeff, that's our Bounty Quick Stats feature.
Yeah, most extra base hits this year in MLB. Riley's on pace for 95 extra base hits. Braves record, Chip, 92 by Hammer and Hank.
I mean, that's what's so amazing. We were talking about in the case of Riley, records held by Chipper Jones, Henry Aaron. I mean, these are franchise icons, and certainly baseball icons too.
Well, you know, when they traded over Matt Olson this year, you were hoping with his age, 8 years, him and Austin Riley were going to be 3-4, some sort of connection like that for a long time here in Atlanta. And they've delivered this year.
Olsen with a home run to center his first time up, and looks outside at ball 2.
I got to tell too, thank you to our crew, Gretchen Caney, our great producer, and the rest of the crew with her getting this whole weekend, because there's a lot of moving parts going on, especially when it rained today. So they were outstanding. A lot of fun.
We are lucky to represent such wonderful teammates.
Yep.
Two balls and a strike for Matt Olson from Noe Ramirez. He has been busy. This is his 44th game. He's in the top 10 in appearances in the league. And that's off to the left, foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Told you the Mets beat Miami 4-0. The Phillies are in Pittsburgh. They've got a tight game with the Pirates. 1-1 is that score. Phillies in town next. Entering play today. The Braves have a 6.5 game lead over the Phillies, who have a 3-game win streak working in tonight's action. He goes the other way. Another 2-strike hit. Love it. So here's Austin Riley, an extra base hitting machine, 24 of them, Jeff, in his last 24 games. That's our StatCast 3D.
Alan, what you love about this spray chart is working the whole part of the field. Up the middle, obviously majority pull side, but you can still see he's able to go the other way at will. We talked about leads, MLB, 59 of them.
Well, let's see if he can pick up another multi-hit game. And like Michael Harris, Jeff, when the game is late and on the line, this is when that tandem has been at their best.
Well, those are little stats that you look at to really see who can lock it in late in the game, face some of the better relievers. Austin, 22 RBIs in the 7th inning on, leads the Atlanta Braves.
So he is cleaning up, looking for home run number 30 for the Braves. Isn't that something? We're not to August yet, and Riley's at 29. 0-1 count. Oh, what a rip. Wants that one back. It's 0-2. Only Aaron Judge has hit more homers than Austin Riley this month. Judge had 12 entering tonight's action. No balls, 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss. Pulled a string. Ramirez gets Riley on a changeup. And that's out number 2 here in the Braves 7th inning. Marcell Ozuna coming up. In case you wondered who leads Major League Baseball in homers, Aaron Judge. It's not August yet. 41 of them.
41, yeah.
And he hit one today, we're told, so it's up to 42 as the Yankees beat the Royals. Ozuna scored a run his last time up. He took ball 4, a 4-pitch walk, and came off Caleb Smith. Now he's facing the righty Noe Ramirez. And a strike. Braves about hit the Diamondbacks 10-1 tonight. And that one got away from Herrera, and a free base for Matt Olson. See where the catcher was set up.
I mean, yeah, he should have caught it. Just went right off the tip of his glove.
Passed ball is the official score. I think Mike Stamos has the scoring duties tonight.
Good guy.
Known Mike a long time. Good baseball man. The pitch. He is downstairs. 2 balls and a strike. The other Eastern team in action tonight, the Nationals. They're in a tight game with the Cardinals, 5-4. That one's in the 7th inning. Where will Juan Soto go at the deadline? Will he go at the deadline? Some think the Cardinals will leave Washington with Juan Soto. We'll see about that. Pitch. Curveball. Fought off. It's an even count. 2-2. Olson at second. The even count pitch from Ramirez to Marcell Ozuna. And a swing and a miss, and that retires the side. Ramirez strikes out 3 in the 7th. We move to the 8th.
To you by the GMC Sierra heavy duty truck and by Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Unbeatable internet only from Xfinity.
All Braves tonight, 6-0. Ian Anderson with 1 hit allowed. He was outstanding. The Braves have hit 3 home runs tonight, delighting a sellout crowd of 41,000 plus. They're all still here to see the fantastic finish. You see that on our Xfinity live look cam. Tyler Matzik is in his 21st game. He'll have the bottom of the order up. He could use a little work. It's 6-0 Atlanta in front. Matzik's last game was on the 27th up in Philadelphia. 2 hits, 2 runs for Matzik in that game. Keep an eye on his fastball velo. The first one 94 miles an hour to Buddy Kennedy, who was the designated hitter, or was the designated hitter to start. Now he's at second base for the Diamondbacks. Changed their lineup 3 times. The first one had Peralta in it. They traded him. Second lineup had Kennedy DHing. Now he gets the start at second. Matzik a quick strike. 2-1 your count. Perfect pitch.
Yeah, 2 right back down in the zone. Look, even if he's not throwing 97, 98, if he throws 94, 95, if you live down in that zone, he can be successful. The difference is you can't live too often too high at 94.
On the ground, Riley with a backhand almost overran that ball, and the throw to first pulls Olsen off the bag. Kennedy flying down the line. That was impressive. We'll see how that scored. Leadoff man on for Arizona.
It took a weird bounce on him. You saw how he kind of tried to backhand it. See here if Riley was able to slap that tag on. Nope. Olsen, sorry. Riley threw the ball.
Throwing error on Austin Riley. So Perdomo is the batter. He's 0 for 2. He struck out his last time. He was the 8th of 9 strikeout victims for Ian Anderson, which matched his career high this evening. Geraldo Perdomo shows bunt, something the Diamondbacks do a lot. 12 bunt hits, 49 bunt attempts for the Arizona club. Again, they're not powerfully built.
No, they got to find a way to manufacture runs. They're not, like Atlanta's come out, hit 3 home runs tonight. They don't normally get too much of that.
Ball 2 for Perdomo. Takes a steady hand at the wheel when you are undermanned and you're playing a young team. Troy Lovallo has been a good manager, good steward for that Diamondbacks franchise for the last several years. This one is snagged by Dansby. What a play! Wow. Kennedy had to hold up just in case the ball was caught in the air. Swanson played the short hop, and he got the lead runner for out number 1.
How fast he got rid of this ball after getting the short hop. Great play. Sets his feet, throws a strike. Got closer than I thought they'd ever get to turn a double play on that ball.
Dansby has not made an error since June 22nd. You heard Leo Mazzoni rave about that.
Yeah.
How good this left side of the Atlanta infield has been this year. Now Jose Herrera, the catcher, he's a double play candidate. And a quick strike. Well, we've had a busy night tonight. Hope you at home enjoyed our chats with Leo Mazzoni, with Terry Pendleton and Joe Torre, Braves Hall of Famers all. What a wonderful weekend that will wrap up tomorrow with Max Fried on the mound. If the score holds, the Braves will have a chance for a 3-game sweep. Jeff?
That's what you want. You want to win series, but at the same time, if you set yourself up with a chance tomorrow to get a sweep, it'd be a good feeling going into an off day.
And then the Phillies in on Tuesday. Braves owe them a little payback after the Phillies won the series up at Citizens Bank last week. 0-2 for Jose Herrera. Fouled away. Magic ready with his 0-2. Chased a high fastball. There's a break. Matzik has his first strikeout. 2 men are down.
Before we get back to the action, let's take a quick message from Landmark.
Hi friends, I'm Chip Carey, in between innings for Landmark More. Landmark's hitting it out of the park every day. That's why they're #1, because nobody beats the Giant. Nobody.
Back to the top we go. Josh Rojas, lefty-lefty matchup. Rojas is 0 for 3.
See, and that's where the fastball for Tyler was effective. A lot of sliders down, and then all of a sudden you raise his eye level.
The Braves bullpen in July, 4-3, a 3.04 ERA. More strikeouts than innings pitched. Excellent work for Rick Kranitz's relief corps. Matzik sets and fires. Heard Kelly's report earlier about Kenley Jansen and his back. Hopefully that's nothing serious. And in a game like this, you lead big enough, you don't have to worry about getting your closer into a tight game.
Like you said, there's a lot of action coming up, some big games ahead. So if it means giving him 3-4 days to get that back under control, then that's what you're going to do.
0-2, 2 outs. Back up slider missed inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. On the ground, Arcia will charge. Nice decision and a good inning for Tyler Matzik. Arizona strands a runner. Braves enjoy a 6-0 lead.
Brought to you by your local Ford dealer. Delta Airlines, keep climbing. And by Truist, when you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
All Braves 6-0, a 1-hit shutout for the Braves staff tonight. William Contreras with a couple of homers and 3 RBIs highlights the Braves offensive attack. Braves fans, check out the new Cooperstown Bronze 5950 cap, now available at the Braves Clubhouse store here at Truist Park. Stop by and check out all of the exclusive apparel and follow at Braves Retail on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook for new releases and merchandise deals. Eddie Rosario will lead off. New pitcher for the Arizona Diamondbacks. This is Tyler Holton, his first big league appearance since the end of May. Wonder if he's being showcased, Jeff, for this Arizona club, which is 45 and 54 on the year.
Hey, look, you're going to have some guys leaving, like you said, and then at the same time, you're going to have some guys getting opportunities now to see what they can do.
Holton from Tallahassee and Florida State. Arizona took him in the 2018 draft. Another Tommy John guy, another guy that lost a season for the minor leagues, who didn't play in the COVID year. So our first look at the young Arizona left-hander, Rosario, Contreras, and Arcia up in the Atlanta 8th. Braves lead it 6-0. Two and one. Phillies have taken an extra innings lead against the Pirates. That one 2-1 in the 10th inning. The ghost runner in play at PNC Park. Mets already beat Miami 4-zip. Nationals lead the Cardinals as this ball is whacked toward right. Varsho on the run makes a nice running catch. That guy's built like a catcher, but he can run. And a good play retires Eddie. Here's Contreras and a quick word from Truist.
Jessica was born to care.
That's my best friend. She don't need no.
Miss Hogan's class? It's Atlantis.
Today, she's a teammate at Truist, the bank that starts with care.
Two homers, 3 RBIs for Contreras. He's up to 13 long balls. Contreras had gone 3+ weeks without a homer. Well, tonight he's made up for lost time with 2 long balls. And in the dirt, ball 1. Swing and a miss. 1-1 you count. Braves sitting pretty tonight. Big lead.
Has really been in control this whole game tonight. Got off to a good start offensively. Ian, outstanding game.
In case you wondered who has the last 3 homer game as a member of the Braves, Adam Duvall back in 2020. He did that September 9th. Contreras in the driver's seat, 3 balls and a strike. Driven to right field. Boy, I love that approach.
Wow.
3-hit night. Boy, did that ball hydroplane off the wet grass.
Yeah, I was going to say. That's one of those in the outfield. I'll tell you what, when it gets really wet like this late at night, that is not easy. Especially one coming off the bat like that.
Great finish for Contreras. And Arcia will try to match him with a 3-hit game. 2 singles and RBI for Orlando tonight. Braves have racked up 11 hits. And strike 1. In the Arizona 9th, they'll have their 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up. Anderson, Chavez, Matzik. The 3 Braves hurlers in tonight's game. And to center, Alec Thomas. In a step or 2, that's the second out. And Michael Harris will try to pick up a hit in his last at bat. The game is full of numbers, full of funny, quirky stats. Michael Harris has gotten better as the game goes on.
Yeah, 285, you see his average, but he's 338 from the 7th inning on. Talk about Austin Riley's RBIs late in the game. Michael Harris has been getting on base.
And try to do that right here. Lefty, lefty. That's what makes Michael so fun to watch. Lefties don't bother him. But this one popped up toward short. Perdomo is in, and it's last call for the Diamondbacks in a 6-0 game.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Landmark Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram and by Synovus, the bank that helps you get there.
Your Atlanta Braves lead 6-0 heading into the top of the 9th frame. Trevor Scales, Peter Moreland, and Brian Jordan here with you. We will be with you post-game. And look, Peter's doing this segment under protest, but Brian Jordan is the man that you want to see here. I just want you guys to see this. I think everybody saw Jeff throw his own poster down, and they saw my swing, so they awarded me with this year's championship. So well deserved by my team. For more of that, if you would care to see it, join us for Braves Live Post Game presented by Xfinity. Let's get to the top half of this here frame.
I have a feeling we're going to have to separate Jeff and Brian before the evening's done.
You know, for BJ, all I'll say, if that makes him feel good about himself, congratulations. You can have that. I mean, you know, I just thought he was more of a competitor to take something like that from a canceled event. Maybe I'm wrong.
I love it.
I thought that football part of him, the mental toughness we talk about, would not allow him to do that.
Wow, I love it. I love it, man. Hey,
I'm just saying.
All I know is you threw the poster away, so
I didn't know
all the fans.
I didn't know Brian was from the the everybody gets a trophy style. maybe I misguided with him.
I love it. I love it. Hey, I'll share it with you. I'll share it with you.
Hey, I'm not prideful. I'll wear the heck out of it.
That a baby. That a baby. But we will square off next year.
Oh, absolutely. It's
okay.
booked.
All right.
We got to do it. We got to get it. We got to get one more, and then we're retiring. Someone else can do it.
I'm just proud that neither one of you got hurt today. That was what I was really worried about.
That's what we both won.
At your advanced ages. So A.J. Minter gets the first out in the 9th inning. Ketel Marte is the hitter. It has been all Braves from the first inning on. Ian Anderson, brilliant. That'll be talked about on Braves Live with the guys in just a bit. Kelly will have some post-game sound from the Braves locker room as well. And a chance for a series sweep tomorrow behind Max Fried, who will look for victory number 11. And he'll make his 21st start for the Braves. Marte skies that foul out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Matzek a solid inning with a strikeout. Now Minter will try to make short work of the Diamondbacks. Ian Anderson in line for win number 9. As we've said, the Braves, that's the offense has been his lucky charm this year. The Braves usually score 6 runs a game when Ian's on the mound. He only needed 1 tonight.
No, he pitched outstanding. From the very first pitch of the game, he was on the attack.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Braves are 2 outs away from 61 wins, getting back to 20 games over 500. They didn't win their 61st game until August of last year. They're about 2 weeks ahead of that pace. As that one's down the line, no chance for Riley to get that. That'll kiss off the base of the wall in left field, and Ketel Marte has the 2nd Arizona hit, a clean double down the 3rd base line.
It's actually a pretty good piece of hitting. That ball was way in off the plate. In fact, he was able to keep that fair.
So Marte with 30 doubles. And now Walker, who's got the hat trick. 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts. And a strike. Braves Live post game presented by Xfinity will follow us. We ramp up Alumni Weekend here tomorrow. High fly ball left. Rosario as far as he can go, up against the wall, makes a leaping grab. Walker just missed.
Walker can't believe it. Look at him. It's like, how the heck did that not get out? Good job by Rosario too. See him how he gets back to the wall, finds it, doesn't time it. Walker's still walking back.
It's been that kind of night.
Yeah, it's a hang with him.
0 for 4, 3 strikeouts, and you miss a 2-run homer by 2 feet.
Yeah.
So here's Varsho. He's the final hope for Arizona. 0 for 2 is he with the walk. One thing that makes A.J. Minter so good, Jeff, is he is throwing strikes, especially on his home mound.
Okay. Talk about a ratio. 36 Ks to 2 walks. here at Truist Park.
So 2 more strikes to get. 1 more strike to get as Varsho is reaching for that. So now everybody's up. Rainy night in Georgia, but Atlanta's rain has come offensively. 3 homers. They've allowed 2 hits. And the 0-2 pitch is wasted high. Line drive just out of reach of Arcia. And Dalton Varsho with a 2-out 2-strike hit spoils the shutout bid, and it's a 6-1 game.
Man, just out of the arms of Orlando.
So cold comfort for Arizona. They get a run, but they need 5 more, and they have only 1 out left. But for Varsho, he's an impressive looking player, man. 48 RBIs. And Jake McCarthy, the man that spoiled Ian Anderson's perfect start, the final obstacle for the Braves in the 9th. Varsho takes off and heads back to first on a foul ball. Strike 1. That's way high. Varsho moves to second. Braves don't care about his run in a 6-1 game. So defensive indifference for Varsho's move up to second. And again, we're a strike away.
Yeah, make 1 more. It's always tough sometimes to get that adrenaline in a 6-0 game when you got like AJ, the majority of the time you're coming in and crunch time.
It's been a great night. Line drive into right field. That's down for a hit. Acuna charges. His throw is coming homeward. Contreras has to leap and can't make a throw to second. So back-to-back run-scoring hits for the Diamondbacks. They have 3 hits in the frame, and it's now 6-2.
He was trying to go away on that, somewhat down, and that one just kind of spun on him down the middle.
Acuna loaded up, had no chance. And moving to second on the throw was McCarthy, so he's in scoring position, and Buddy Kennedy is the scheduled hitter. Let's see if Minter can subdue Mr. Kennedy. That's in for a strike.
A little steam on that pitch. What do you think? 95.
Steam coming out of Minter's ears after a couple of runs across in the 9th. And again, we're a strike away. Finish him off, AJ. 0-2. 22nd pitch. It missed outside. Ball 2. You look at the final line score, assuming the Braves hold on here, and wonder, was the game really this close? It hasn't been. It's been an overpoweringly good pitching performance for the Braves tonight. But 2 runs, 3 hits with 2 outs as Arizona on the board. The pitch. Sharply hit. Arcia, short hop, drops, fires, strong arm, ends the ball game. Braves win it 6-2, your final score. Anderson was awesome. The Braves bats were booming, and Jeff, a chance to sweep tomorrow.
Look, Ian Anderson needed to come out and make a good start tonight. Had one of his worst starts of the season 5 days ago. Tonight he came out, was a complete different guy, attacked the zone. Again, I'll tell you, his fastball I thought was the best I've seen it this year. 94 to 95, had a lot of life to it. And this Braves offense continues to hit the long ball. Matt Olson with the big one, and then William Contreras, 2 home runs, 3 hits for him. Continue to hit to show their power.
So on a weekend, Jeff, where we celebrate the greatness of the Braves franchise with Alumni Weekend, I can't think of a better way to wrap things up than with a sweep behind Max Fried, who's got the ball tomorrow. Our coverage begins at 1 o'clock on Valley Sports Southeast. First pitch at 1:35 Eastern Time. Anderson and the offense, the story in Game 2. Braves beat the Diamondbacks by a final of 6-2. For our entire Valley Sports crew, great night tonight. I'm Chip Carey. For my partner Jeff Francoeur, we'll go for a sweep tomorrow, and we'll see you here on Valley Sports.